This is Colin O'Keefe here for LXBN TV. The recent announcement by Bruce Jenner has brought increased attention to providing acceptance and equality for transgender individuals. It's important in everyday life and in the workplace as well. Joining me to speak on the latter part is attorney Terri Gillespie. She's in Philadelphia with Obermayer and author on the firm's blog, HR Legalist. Terri, first, from an education perspective, what can employers do to make sure that their employees are appropriately prepared for, working with transgender coworkers? What can employers do to make sure that there's a culture of acceptance?
I think the most important thing that employers can do is to include gender identity and expression as a topic in their workplace harassment training, and which we recommend that employers conduct regularly with employees on all topics of employment discrimination. But to include gender identity and expression in their training would provide education to employees and clarify some misconceptions about gender identity and expression. A common misconception being that gender identity is the same as sexual orientation. It's not. Sexual orientation is one's sexual desires and attractions. Gender identity is the particular gender with which an individual identifies. So I think that's the most important thing that employers can do from an education perspective, is to train their employees in acceptance and inclusion generally, but specifically with individuals who are transgender or identify with a different gender.
I see. And then second, from a policy standpoint, what are the types of things that employers should make sure that they have in writing, or even, from a physical standpoint, what are the things they should have in the workplace?
Well, definitely we want employers to have anti-discrimination, anti-harassment policies generally, again, but to include in those policies gender identity and expression, prohibitions against gender identity and expression, discrimination and harassment in the workplace, even if their state law or municipal laws don't provide such protections for employees. So for employers to go above and beyond what's required by them under state, federal, or municipal law in terms of anti-discrimination. And if they are in a municipality or a state in which they have those protections, the prohibitions against gender identity and expression, discrimination, and harassment, then we would want to see posters up in the workplace that explain an employee's rights and what remedies that they have if they feel as though they are being discriminated against because of their gender identity or expression.
I see. Yeah, there's a lot that employers can do because, again, you want to have that culture of equality and acceptance. Once again, that was Terri Gillespie of Obermayer. For more of her insight on this particular topic and others in the employment law space, be sure to visit HR Legalist. It's at hrlegalist.com. Thanks for joining me today, Terri.
Thank you, Colin.